Hey guys, Faisal here from Phase and Codes. Today we're going to be taking a look at the copy command. We're going to be looking at how to copy files and directories while keeping their state, preserving their state. We're going to be taking a look at how to recursively copy. For example, if there is um, subdirectories within that directory, or if there's files in that directory within that subdirectory. Um, that's also going to be copied when we copy it to a different location. We're going to be taking a look at how to secure copy from one server to the other. So if there's a file, we're going to be transferring it to a completely different server that has a completely different IP using secure copy. We're going to be taking a look at how to use the move command, how to move files from one location to the other. We're going to be taking a look at how to rename files using the move command. With that being said, let's get started. So first thing is, let's open up mRemoteNG. Um, for this session, I'm actually going to be using mRemoteNG, not PuTTY. I'm going to use a root user, and I'll put in the IP 192.168.50.81. So if you guys remember from our previous session, the IP actually was 192.168.52. That was a network. For this for this tutorial, I have actually changed the IP since I'm on a different network. So that's why you see .50. Alrighty, so let's SSH into it. Let's log into root. Alright, so now we're logged in. Now let's just make sure where we are. pwd. Okay, so we're in the root directory, root's home, and let's actually cd into slash, and so we don't have a file. Before I continue, actually, let me make the font a little bigger. That way it's easy to see. So I'm going to click on I'm going to right click on our session up here, and I'm going to click on the PuTTY settings and appearance, change, and pick 16 and click apply. So essentially it's the same way how you change the font in PuTTY. That's how you change it in also in remoteNG. All right, so let's make a file. We're gonna use the echo command and say, hey guys, this is Faisal from Phase and Code showing you the copy command, and we'll forward this using the receptor, and we will forward it to a file called filer.txt. How about that? And just confirm that it exists and it's been created, and filer.txt is been created. Now let's actually make a folder. We'll call it make directory, and we'll call that docs. Sure, we'll call that docs. Now we have a folder, and now we have a file that we just created. Now let's copy. So to copy, we put in cp for copy, and we put in the name of the file. So in this case, it's filer.txt, and then we put in the path. So in this case, I want to move it towards, or I want to copy it to slash and docs. I'll press enter, and now we'll list the content inside of docs, and you'll see our file has been copied from the slash inside of docs, the directory of docs. Now let's actually cd into docs, and let's list all the content. Actually, how about we cat the file to make sure if it's the same file. Cat filer.txt. Yep, that's the same file that we just created. Hey guys, this is Faisal from Phrase and Codes showing you the copy command. Let's cd backwards. So now we took a look at how we copy files from one location to the other. All right, So I actually want to see, um, 1 second, docs. Yep. So I want to give you guys an example on the preserving the state. So we're going to be now looking at preserving the state while using the copy command. So let me just show you Notepad. It'd be a little bit clear this way. So let me just put that here. So what I'm doing essentially is I'm copying the first file that we created, which is filer.txt, and we created that in the slash, right? Now, and then I'm copying the file that we copied to the docs directory, which is the same file essentially, but I'm just going to show you the difference between them, what happens when you copy them without preserving their state. So let me make this a little bigger. Now, now take a look, guys, and tell me what you guys spot. The differences. What's the difference that you guys spot? All right, so I'm sure most of you guys already spotted it, but if you guys have not spotted it, it's the timestamp. So you see, this is the file that we first created at 418, and then when we copied it, the time changed and it became 419. So now we have the same files with the same context, but two different timing. So the timestamp is different now. Now, how do we preserve the state of the file? Well, we use the A flag. So we'll use, um, let me actually make a different directory. So it's in a completely different directory. We'll call this docu, yep. And now we'll use the copy command. So we say cp and we'll put in -a and then we'll put in filer.txt. And then where do we want to move it to? We want to move it to docu /docu docu. All right, so now it's been moved. Let's list the content of docu. Now let's copy the file that we copied into the docu directory, and we'll paste it in here. So I'll actually just cd into it as well. That way it's a little bit. So now if I do print working directory, you'll see I'm in there. Now if I list the content in here, you'll see this. Now if you take a look, this was the first file that was created. This was the original one that was created. And then we copied the original file into a directory called docs, and this was it, which gave us a different timestamp. And now we use the A flag, or you can call it option. We use the A flag to preserve the state. Now you'll see the time stamp is the exact same as the one that we created, as the original file that we created. So this is actually very helpful if you want to keep preserve the state. If you want to copy a folder, and a file, and the file has a completely different time, this is how you preserve the state while copying. All right, now we have copied the file using preserve, using the A flag to preserve the state. Now let's take a look at how to copy directories and files if they are in that folder. So I'll cd back into slash, and now I will take the docu directory and I'm gonna place it in docs. So to do that, we're gonna put in cp, we're gonna put in -r for recursive, and we're going to put in docu. We want docu to be moved into docs. So we want it to be moved into slash docs. And now we'll list all, we'll actually cd into docs, cd/docs. Now we'll list all the content, and now you'll see that the docu directory has been copied into the docs. Now you guys can see again, once again, that we have not preserved the state because we haven't used the a flag with this with the recursive flag. So if you guys see, I actually put this in the notepad. So let me erase all of this. I'll put in this. This is when we created the docu, and this is when we copied it to the docs directory. So you guys can see there's a 3-minute difference because we didn't preserve the state. So preserving the state is important when you wanna copy the entirety of that folder or the file. Okay, so that's how you recursively copy folders and files. And so if there were any files in docu, which cd into docu, which there is one file, which is filer, that's also been copied. And if you take a look, the timestamp is different. And once again, we haven't preserved the state. So from the original directory that we first created, it's a different timestamp. So from 422 to 425. All right. So we can essentially put the R flag and the A flag together to recursively copy. So let me actually show you. So let me cd out of here, and let me remove docu, the 425 timestamp, and just make sure it's been deleted. Now I'll cd back into slash, and I'll use cp copy R for recursive and A for preserving the state. And what do I want to move? I want to move docu. And where do I want to move it? I want to move it into docs/docs. Press enter. Now I want to cd. I'm going to cd into docs. Let's list all the content. And now we should see the timestamp should be 422. Now, as you guys can see, we have preserved the state and we have recursively copied the folder. So let's actually cd into docu. So let's take a look at where we are first. So we're in docs, then we'll cd into docu, and we'll print working directory. Okay, list all the content, and now you'll see we have preserved the state. Now you guys are probably saying, well, why is this 418? Well, this is 418 because this was created on 418. This was the original file that was created and moved into the directory. So if you take a look above here, you'll see 418. So that's why it's preserved the state from when we created it, from not when we copied it, but when we first created the file. So let's actually go back to slash cd slash. Now list all the content, and you'll see 418. That's the original timestamp that we created filer.txt. All right, so that's how you recursively copy. Now I'm going to show you guys a really cool command, which is secure copy. And when I first learned this command, I was actually amazed of what it could do. So let's take a look. And for that, we actually need to open up another session. So I actually have that open. So let me just confirm the IP for this. Oops, fconfig. All right. Just make sure we are able to ping Google and resolve. Yep, awesome. So let's open up a different session, and that is 79, I believe, right? Yes, 79. Log in as I root 12356 ME. Oops, Didn't mean to expose my password, but that's okay. All right. So now we're logged in to two servers. Let's actually close this. We don't need this anymore. Now we're actually logged in into NAE server, and this one is called virtual machine. So let's clear that. Let's change the font for this as well to 16. All right, now it should look the same. Okay, so let's move a file from virtual machine to NAE server. So let's use secure copy. All right. So what we're going to do first, since we already have a filer and we have already created this, we're gonna cat it just to confirm the text. All right. So that's the text. Hey guys, this is Faisal from Phase and Codes showing you the copy command. All right. So now we're gonna actually make a directory on this server. Let's see. We'll call this secure copy. How about that? All right, let's just make sure it's there. Secure copy. Yep, secure copy. Let me remove anything that will get us confused. All right. So now we've made that folder in our NA East server. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in SCP for secure and then copy, and we're going to put in um, we're going to put in the name of the file or the directory. So in this case, it's going to be filer.txt. And where do we want to move it to? Well, we want to move it to the root user of the IP at 192.168.50.79. All right, so we want to move it there. Now, where on that server do we want to move it to? Well, so we put a semicolon, or sorry, a colon, not a semicolon, a colon, um, and then we put a slash right after that because we're in the slash directory, right? For the NAE server, if you do pwd, we're in the slash, and where in slash, which directory after that? Secure copy. So we'll put in se secure, and then we'll put in copy. So keep in mind, guys, no spaces after the colon. So this might look a little weird, um, but you guys will get the hang of it. So first is secure copy. S is for secure. CP is for copy. The name of the file or the directory you want to copy um, to that location. So in this case, we want to take the filer.txt from our virtual machine server, and we want to move it to where? To the root user at the IP, which is 192.168.50.79, and then colon, and where do we want to place it? We want to place it into the secure copy directory that we created. All right, so let's press enter, and it's asking us for the fingerprint. So we're gonna type in yes, and now it's asking us for the password for the .79 server, which is the NAE server. So we'll put in the password, and now the file has been copied. So let's take a look at the 79, and let's cd into secure copy, and now we'll list all the content, and now you'll see filer.txt has been moved to our server, our different server, which is NAE. Now, if we were to cat the content, we simply just put cat and then the name just to confirm that it's the actual file. And you guys can see, hey guys, this is Faisal from Face and Code showing you the copy command. And if you guys have noticed, we have not preserved the state. That's because we haven't used any flags to preserve the state. But I've shown you guys how to preserve the state, so you guys can give that a try yourself. All right, so let's take a look at the move command now. How do we move files from one location to the other? Well, we're going to use the move command, which is mv to move. We're going to put in mv. We're going to put in the name of what we want to move. So in this case, I want to move filer.txt. Oh, sorry, not filet, filer.txt. And where do I want to move it to? Let's move it to /mount. Why not? All right, let's list all the content. And now you guys will see that the filer that we had in our slash is gone because we moved it. So let's cd into mount. Let's list all the content, and you'll see our filer.txt has been moved to the /mount directory. Okay. Now, if you guys wanted to see what's happening while it gets moved, we put in the v flag for verbose. So let me show you guys. So we'll say filer. Oh, sorry. We'll say move. We'll put in -v for verbose, and we'll put in filer.txt. Where do we want to move it to? I want to move it back to slash. Now you'll see renamed filer.txt to /filer.txt. Now we'll go back to slash and we'll list all the content, and you see we have moved the file back into the slash. Let's actually cat it to make sure it's the same one, and yes, it says the same thing. And all right, so now we have moved the file back to where it belonged. And now say we wanted to change the name of this file, so we simply put in move filer.txt and we put in the new name. So say we want file.txt instead of filer, or say we want filer.rar. Okay, how about that? Now let's list all the content, and now you'll see file.rar. Now let's move that back into a text file. So we'll say move file.rar, and we'll move it back to file. We'll just call it file.txt. Now we'll list all the content. Now you'll see that we have renamed the file to file.txt. Just we're going to cat the content to make sure it's the same, and you'll see it's the same file that we created originally. Now you can also for example, you can put interactive mode for moving. So we'll say mv -i, and we'll put that's for interactive. We'll put file.txt, and then we'll put files.txt. No, let me actually let me make another file. We'll call that file. And I'll actually echo, hey guys, this is Faisal from file.txt, and I'll move it to file.txt. All right. So let me show you the interactive. So we'll put in mv, we'll put in hyphen A, hyphen I for interactive, and we'll put in file.txt, and we'll put in files.txt. And we also put in the V flag for verbose. And it says, do you want to overwrite this? Do I want to overwrite files.txt? Well, sure. In this case, I do want to overwrite it. I'll type in yes, and it's been renamed. And now, if we list all the content inside of files.txt, you'll see, hey guys, this is Faisal, and you'll see the timestamp has been updated as well. So that's what interactive does. It allows you to overwrite a file to a particular file that you specify. So in this case, we took file and we overrid it with the files.txt. So whatever was in files.txt has been overwritten. Alright guys, so I hope you guys got an understanding of how to use the copy command and how to move files and directories. You can essentially move directories as well with move command. I recommend you guys give that a try. If you guys liked the video and found it helpful, give it a like. Leave a comment if you guys have any questions. I'll see you guys in the next one.